All right, guys, I am so sorry. I was supposed to start this live section at 5 o'clock, but due to one or two things, I was not able to meet up. Reason I'm coming by this time. All right, so I'm here today because a lot of people are preparing for their interview, and it is quite difficult for me to take everybody one after the other, which is the reason I said to come here at this time to share with us what we should expect when we go for our healthcare assistant interview. At the same time, I will share with us what is expected of us during interview, how we should answer our questions. All right, and also I would like us to ask question if there is anything you feel, if there is any question you have you want to ask, feel free to also ask that question, and I will tell you how to answer the questions. All right, so I'm gonna start with, first of all, different types of interview questions. Let me hold on. Join me on live video now on YouTube. Let's prepare you for interview. Please, if you are here, please say hi. I am so sorry I was late. I was very late. This was supposed to start at 5 p.m. but something happened, so I couldn't come at 5. But nevertheless, we're gonna start immediately. There is no time to waste. So, oh God. If you have any question, ask. I know a lot of people have. I don't know if I can see comment. I have 4 people watching me. Please type something in the comment section so I'll know if I can, if I'm seeing comment. If you are here, please say hi or hello. If you are here, I can see people sending likes. Set Copper have said hi. Okay, thank you guys. I have 21 people watching me here on live. So if you have any particular question you would like me to start with, put it down in the comment section. Any particular question at all, put it. I have my book here. This, everything in this book from here to here is interview questions. I also have my Samsung notes here. So whatever question it is, if it's not in my head, it should be on this book. In this book, I was the one that made this note. If it's not here, it should be in my Samsung note. So I want us to get it done once and for all. Some people sent their CV. I am yet to review it. I was supposed to do it in the morning, but my son have got appointment in school. So by the time we finish with school tour and everything, come back, I had to attend to him and make him go to bed so I can be able to do what we are doing now. All right, so if you have any particular question, put it down. We'll start from there. Otherwise, I will have to start from the beginning. I will read out the question, give answer to that. If you understand it, in the comment section, if it's clear to you, please do well to say next question, please. You get what I mean? When I say a question and the answer, if you understand it perfectly, just say next question, please. Right? If you don't understand it, let me know. I will throw more light. So first of all, when you go for healthcare assistant interview, normally they will ask you, can you please tell, after welcoming you, they will ask you, can you please tell us about yourself? All right, tell us about yourself. I used to tell her this is the time for you to introduce yourself to them. Remember, they have got your file, they have your CV, there was something you filled online. If you apply the job through Indeed, they already have your CV. If it's through NHS sites, they've got your details there. So when they say, can you tell us about yourself, it is opportunity for you to introduce yourself to them. Briefly, you tell them your name, you tell them your qualification, you tell them the current job you are doing, then you tell them the you tell them the current job you are doing. That is all. Another thing I did not add, your educational qualification. So these 4 or 5 things is okay. By saying that my name is Juliana, I graduated from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, or you graduated from Oxford University as a microbiologist. Currently, I am working in a care home, I am working in the hospital, I am working, where are you working? You stated where you support the residents or the patients with their day-to-day activities. This job or your duty have helped you to acquire a lot of skills, such as good communication skills that allows you to manage them properly. You have also acquired your level 3 in health and social care. If you have not, no problem. If you have, state it. I will come again. I might be saying, adding 1 or 2 things, but please make sure you capture exactly what I'm saying. My name is Juliana. I have got my university degree in so and so school if you want. Currently, I am working as a healthcare assistant or whatever. Where are you working? What is your job role? Currently, I am working as a healthcare assistant in a dementia facility where I support the residents with their day-to-day activities. My job role have also helped me to acquire a lot of skills, such as good communication skill, ability to work as a team that enables me to do my job. I have also acquired my NVQ3 in health and social care. So it is not hard. You don't even need to say too much. I don't know if I'm saying too much, but this is me telling them my name. This is me telling them my name is Juliana. I'm a university graduate of Oxford University, where I studied microbiology. Currently, I am working in a dementia facility where I support the residents or the patients with their day-to-day activities. I have also acquired a lot of skills that enables me to do the job, such as good communication skill, ability to work as a team, good time management. I've also acquired NVQ level 3 or whatever. If you have not acquired anything, you can tell them that you have also undergone a lot of trainings in this field that has been helping you to do your job. Do you get up to this point? Nitro, thank you so much. Do you get up to this point? What I mean, tell them your name briefly. Like, I have 3 names, but I'm not gonna start telling them all my names. My name is Juliana. I'm a university. Why I used to put that, if I have university certificate, I love to put it because this is my highest qualification. Yeah, this is my highest qualification educationally. Have not gotten my master's or whatever, so I like to put to them, just in case if you don't have NVQ3 or a care certificate or whatever thing you feel, any qualification at all in healthcare sector, all right, if you have not gotten that but you have your BSc, your university degree, you are good to go. I need to put off this fan. You are very good to go. Very, very good to go. You get my point. You are good to go. So I like to use that, even though they have it in your file, but I love to say it out so that they will know this is my qualification. At least English and maths, I'm very good. This is what I'm doing currently. And even when you have told them what you are doing, you use, you ship in the type of, because I said currently I am working in a dementia facility where I support the resident with their day-to-day activities. So this is me telling them what I'm doing currently and what my job roles are. Everywhere you go for healthcare assistance, whatever, your role is still what? Supporting the resident or the patient with their day-to-day activities. So whatever thing you are doing, be it personal care, be it engagement, be it whatever, will come later, because they will ask you later for you to explain to them how you have been doing that. All right, so are you able to get something? Do you guys understand what I mean, or how to answer that question? Can you tell us about yourself? Did you understand that? If yes, let me know in the comment section so I can move to the next question. If you understand that, people listening to me, let me know so I can move to the next question. Okay, I move to the next question. The next question says, why do you want to work with us? Why do you want to work with us? Now, for you to answer this question, to tell them why you want to work with them, you must have gone through the company website. If it's a care home, like a private care home, you must have gone through the company website. You must have seen what they are doing. If it's NHS Trust, you must have seen what their trust values are. So for you to answer, thank you, Seth. For you to answer that question, you need to know exactly what that trust or that care home is into. All right. Let's say, for example, I am a dementia carer. I love everything about dementia. So if I want to look for another job, I should be looking out for a trust or a care home that have services offered to people with dementia. Just so that when they ask me, why do you want to work with us? I will tell them that the services they offer aligns with what I love. You get my point? That the services they offer aligns with what you love, what you like to do, the type of services you want to offer. You love everything about dementia. Maybe because your grandmother or your mom or whoever you want to put in that position suffered dementia, and you were the one that took care of her, even without knowing anything about the law or professional way to do it. Now you have come in this country and you see that you can even advance in this field. You want to learn more on how to care for these people. You want to learn more. You want to, because you know you want to advance in this field. So you want to work with them because of the type of services they are offering is what you like. It is of your interest. If it's in NHS, they will have a lot of values. Like the last job application I helped somebody to do, the NHS Trust said that their value is care, improving, teamwork, and there was something again. So when I was writing the supporting document, I put it there that I want to work with you because I like to care for vulnerable people. I like to improve in what I'm doing to be better and better. So because the trust value have improvement, that means there will be room for me to improve. They will give me that opportunity to improve in that field. So for you to answer, why do you want to work with us? You have to really go through what that company is offering. You have to go through what they are doing. If you don't read about that company services or that NHS Trust value, you will not be able to answer this question. So I will answer this question in two different ways. First, as a private care home. Second, as NHS Trust. Now, if it's in a private care home, why do you want to work with us? I want to work with you because the type of services you render is what I love to do. I have this goal that in the near future, I will grow bigger in this field. And for me to do that, I need to work in a place that offers the type of services I am looking out to, because I want to advance in this field, because I want to become better in this field. So that is why I am coming to work with you, to render my services and also learn from you. That is why I want to come. If it's in the NHS, they have their trust values. Let's say, for example, their trust values are maybe like the last one I applied for. Their trust values are care, improving, teamwork, and good communication also. I don't know, there was one. Okay, let me put the last one. Equality. Okay, let me use this for, I am very anxious person. I'm looking for a job, but I work for a shop, but I want to be a pilot. All the best, my dear. All the best. Okay, so if this question is coming from NHS and they ask you, why do you want to work with us? Just tell them that you want to work with them because the values and the goal of that NHS Trust aligns, like it is in line with your own goals and your own values. What do I mean? Don't stop there or list it for them. Don't stop there. You tell them that when you went through, you find out that the NHS trust value include care, improving, team working, and equality. And this is as if the trust is defining you, that you are the type of person that loves to give care, especially to vulnerable people, because you understand that without you, they may not be able to achieve what they want to achieve for the day. So you are there to make them happy. You are there to support them the best way you can. And in the end, you see them happy. You like to see that you are the reason why someone is happy. That is caring. You like to do that. You tell them that that you love to improve in whatever thing you are doing. You want to grow bigger. You want to improve from being a carer to going into a nurse to becoming something bigger in that field. You love to improve on what you are doing every day. So for the NHS Trust to have improving in their trust value, it means that there is a room automatically for every staff to improve, which is what you really want. You want a trust where you have that opportunity to improve in what you are doing. Talking about teamwork, you tell them that you don't love to win alone. You love to win with your team. Therefore, you love to work as a team to make sure that that set goal is achieved. Talking about equality, remember, this thing I'm listing, I just formulated it myself from different trust values I've seen. Talking about equality, you tell them that you are the type of person that like to give everybody equal opportunity. And for the trust to have it as their trust value, it means that they will give you that equal opportunity to grow, to improve, to amend in whatever thing you are doing. So this is why you are coming to work with them, because the services they render or the type of values they have aligns with what you love to do. It aligns with your own goals and aspirations in life. Don't stop there. Make sure you list 1 or 2 or 3 values you think they have. You saw online. Make sure you include it so they will know that you are not just talking, or just for talking sake. Interview is not all about how you answer the question. No, it is also how convincing you are. Remember, you can apply for band 2 job, but if you do very well, they can promote you. My younger sister is a testimony to that. The time they were doing NHS recruitment, I applied for the job as well, but I did not apply because I want to get the job. No, I applied, and the next day they sent me invite. I said to my sister, listen, you have to apply for this. She said, no, that I know that she's just new. I said, apply for it. I'm going to prepare you for the interview and you will pass. She went, she applied. 3 days later, they sent her invite. It was NHS recruitment. So they interviewed her under band 2. Her salary was 25,000. After the interview, 3 days after the interview, she was shortlisted as people that passed the interview. Now, on the next recruitment, before that, she got email that she has now been transferred or upgraded something to band 3. And her salary now is from 29 to 31,000. Because she did her interview session was very, very excellent. So they feel they can upgrade her, train her more so she can train others. So it's not really all about answering questions. It's about how convincing you are, how confident you are. If you are not confident, you cannot be able to convince anyone. Okay, so I don't know if you understand. I am taking my time to explain these things for you so you understand the ingredients, what is needed. If you understand what is needed, then you can put it in your own words and answer that question. So why do you want to work with us? Make sure anywhere you did job application, once they shortlist you, please go and read what services they offer. Go and read what values they have, so you can use it as your answer. Do you understand this one? If yes, I will move to the next question. Please, if you are here and you are listening and you are getting what I'm saying, I will appreciate if you interact in the comment section. Please, because that will enable me to continue talking, and I will know that people are listening. I have 5 people here. I don't mind, even if it's 2 persons. It's okay for me, so long that person passes the interview. That is the goal. So if you understand this part, let me know in the comment section. Then we move to the next one. The next one I have here is, what is your understanding about safeguarding? What is your understanding about safeguarding? Now, talking about safeguarding, there are a lot of ways they can throw you question on safeguarding. First of all, what is safeguarding? Safeguarding is all about protecting the resident, the vulnerable adults or children you care for, from anything that would cause them pain, anything that will cause them harm, anything that will cause them every form of abuse. That is what safeguarding is all about. To safeguard somebody from anything that will harm them. That is safeguarding. All right? That is what concept of safeguarding is all about. So if that question come in that form, tell us what you know about safeguarding. This is the concept of safeguarding. But during interview, do not just tell them that safeguarding is all about protecting the patient or the service user from all forms of abuse, harm, and neglect. No, it does not end there. Please Move forward to tell them that there are different types of abuse that may exist in the care home or in the hospital. It depends on the setting you are looking for that job. You know, if it's in the hospital, you should be talking about hospital and not care home now. Go forward to tell them that abuse can be of different types, and there are so many things you will do to a resident or a patient and it will be classified as an abuse. First of all, you tell them that you know about financial abuse, and which is taking money or anything that monetary value, anything that it can be classified as money, you know, something like gold, their gold necklace, their gold chains, their belongings, stealing it from them, taking their money, using their credit card or their debit card for your own use. You take it from them and use it. That is financial abuse. When you do that, you are committing crime. That is an abuse, and you can be prosecuted for that. You can tell them that you are not allowed to shout at a resident. You are not allowed to call them names, because that is emotional abuse. You are not allowed to hit them. You are not allowed to kick them, because that is physical abuse. By the time you say 2 or 3 types of abuse, you know. Why answering safeguarding? I tell you what, nobody will come back to ask you question again on different types of abuse. This is how to cripple them during interview. So, what is your understanding about safeguarding? You just tell them safeguarding is all about protecting the vulnerable adults that you care for from all forms of abuse, harm, and neglect. You tell them that abuse can be of different types, or abuse can be of different forms. And there are things I will do to a resident, it becomes an abuse. For example, stealing from them, taking their money, that is financial abuse. I am not allowed to do that. The way I'm talking to you now, this is the way I answer my question during interview. It's as if I'm talking from my heart, because I know what I'm saying. So I am telling them that this question you asked me, this is what it is. You know, sounding confident and convincing. There is no way you won't get the job. Do not just end at saying safeguarding is all about protecting the resident from all forms of abuse, harm, and neglect. Then you keep quiet. No. Tell them, move forward, as in make it personal, that it is your duty to protect these vulnerable adults you care for from anything that will cause them pain, from any form of abuse. Tell them that you understand that when you steal from them, take their money, take their jewelries, their gold, their diamond, that it is called financial abuse. And you are not allowed to do that. Because when you do that, is a crime. So this is you telling them that you know you must not do that. You tell them that when you shout at this patient, the service users, remember when I say patient, service user, resident, client, I am still referring to vulnerable adults, those people that we care for. All right? Tell them that you know that when you shout at them, when you call them names, that is emotional abuse. You are not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to hit them. You are not allowed to push them. You are not allowed to kick at them. Maybe because they got you angry, because that is physical abuse. You are not allowed to starve them. You are not allowed to, not give them wash, because that could be neglect. Just keep on listening. List it to them. Before you could even say 3 or 4, they will tell you thank you, and nobody will come back to ask you another thing like what are the type of abuse you know, because you have finished everything. But if you're answering one word, if another person come and smash it this way, that person gets the job. So whenever you go for interview, treat it as you are in the job market and somebody you are fighting this position with somebody else. So you must have to say it in a way that will convince them that, look, I can do this. I know what I'm saying. I know what I should not do. You are welcome, Caroline. If you have any question, feel free to put it down in the comment section. We are going to tackle it today. All right? If you have understood what safeguarding is all about, then I should go on to the next one. Remember, questions about safeguarding could be asked in any form. They can ask you, why do you think safeguarding is important? Why do you think protecting vulnerable adults is important? Why? Think about it. Safeguarding is all about protecting them. So why do you think it's important? It's important to protect them so that nobody will take advantage of them, nobody will maltreat them, nobody will neglect them, nobody will abuse them. If you don't protect them, then all these things we are saying now will happen to them. So it is important you protect them so that they will not be abused, they will not be neglected, they will not be malhandled, they will not be starved. You get what I mean? So when they ask you a question, it is not a rocket science. It's just for you to understand what that question is seeking. Then you fire back with answer. I am not looking anywhere to answer these things. Everything I have here is just questions. All of them are questions. The answer is coming from here. Why? Because this is what I'm doing. This is my field. So whatever thing they are asking you is what we practice in the field. And that's why I'm able to explain it the way I'm explaining it for you to understand. This question about safeguarding also could be asked. How do you ensure that the vulnerable adults or the service user are protected from abuse and neglect? How do you ensure? What do you do? What are the measures you put in place to make sure that the vulnerable adults are protected? What are the things you put in place? That is what the question is asking. How do you ensure that the vulnerable adult or the service users in your care is being protected from all forms of abuse? How do you do that? What this question is asking is for you to tell them, as you are working as a care worker, what are the things you do to protect the resident from abuse? What are the things you put in place? What measures do you put in place to make sure that what tests are you doing? Okay, I'm not doing tests. I am preparing people for their care interview. A lot of people here have got interview as a healthcare assistant. So I am telling them what they are likely to encounter or what questions they may ask them and how they should tackle the question. So I am explaining what each concept mean. Yes, in the UK. I'm explaining what each concept mean so they can be able to understand it and know what they are asking them. Because many of them knows this thing, but maybe because of how they ask the questions, they won't know what to say. But they have been doing this job because they don't understand the question, so they won't know what to answer. So what I'm doing here is to digest that question so they can understand and be able to answer properly during their interview and pass. So that is what I'm doing. Pato, I hope you understand my explanation. So how do you ensure that the residents or the service users in your care? We have a lot of immigration problem. Yeah, the thing is this. There are a lot of people who migrated from different countries to the UK legally. Either they come as a student or they come here on tier 2 visa to work. They came here legally, and these are people I am dealing with. If you come to the UK illegal, there is no way you will get a job. Nobody will even shortlist you to give you a job. Official job is not done. So the people I'm dealing with here are those who are legal. The legal ones are the ones I'm dealing with, because those ones have got a lot of things to contribute to the government. I hope you understand what I mean. The immigration problem is with the illegal migrants, which I don't support. If you want to come to somebody's country, you should come the legal way. Follow the due process. For those ones, they are adding to the government economy. We are adding. But those illegal ones, the government should do with them what they want. Those ones are not our problem. So, how do you ensure that the vulnerable adults in your care are being protected? First of all, when you talk about ensuring that someone is being protected, what are the measures you put in place? First of all, make sure that the environment is conducive. I make sure that the environment is conducive by making sure that in their rooms that the floors are even. The floors they walk on is even, that they will not miss their step and fall down. The side cupboard close to their bed, I make sure I move it away, so if for any reason they roll out of the bed, they won't hit their head or anything on the edge of the side drawer. I make sure that there is no water on the floor or any fluid whatsoever, so they don't sleep on it and fall. I make sure that I offer them food, water. I offer them personal care, so they won't be neglected. I make sure that I don't take their money. I make sure I don't steal from them. I make sure I don't hit them. Are you seeing how these answers are coming back again from everything that we have said so far? It's as if we are repeating it again. So it depends on how you put your answers. One answer can be used to answer 5 different questions, but it depends on how you put it. The next question I have here is, what would you do if you suspect that a resident was being abused or neglected? Please, if you are here with me and you are understanding what I'm saying, please, can you give me a shout out in the comment section? Just type "write down" so we can continue. Because nobody is saying anything. I don't know if I'm talking to myself or if someone is here. Write something in the comment section for me. I'm waiting. Okay, Caroline. All right, thank you. So the next question I have here is, what would you do if you suspect that a resident was being abused or neglected? What would you do? When you suspect that somebody is being neglected or that someone is being abused, what do you do? The only thing you have to do is to document what you suspect or what you have witnessed, document it, and report immediately. If the resident have said something to you, tell them that if I suspect that a resident is being abused, that what I will do is to document what I witnessed and report it immediately. That is what I would do. Or if the resident have said anything to me, I will reassure them that we'll make sure they are safe, but I will not promise them that I won't report it. I will reassure them and I will tell them that they have done a very good thing by reporting that, and that you will take it up to let the management know about it. They shouldn't worry, you have to reassure them so they don't get scared. And after that, you will have to write exactly what that person said in their own words and also report it to the management. So, the next question I have here, still on safeguarding. There are a lot of questions coming with safeguarding because it is a very, very sensitive and delicate thing in healthcare sector. He said, tell us some signs of abuse you look out for as a carer. As a carer, what are the signs of abuse you look out for? Number one, signs of abuse, indicators of abuse. What would you see and you'll be like, somebody, it looks like this person is being abused. One, unexplained mark, unexplained bruises, unexplained pressure areas. When you begin to see these things, then something is wrong somewhere. It could be that they are not changing the resident pad, which is an abuse. It could be that they are using up to 2 or 3 pads on the resident, which is an abuse. It could also be that this resident is not being repositioned at interval. They just leave the person, if they are lying on their back, they leave the person to lie on their back for a long time. Unexplained bruises. It could be that the staff caring for the person used to beat them, punch them. So these are the signs that when you see it, then you have to suspect that something might be going on. Then you will document what you saw and report it. So that is some signs that you look out for. If you start seeing bruises on this person's body, unexplained injuries, with the person all of a sudden they start withdrawing back. They don't want to come out to join what others are doing. That is a sign of abuse. You have to do something. If you talk to them and they are willing to talk about it, good. Otherwise, you have to document and report what you have seen. Okay. The last question I have here on safeguarding is, can you give us an example on how you have advocated for a vulnerable resident in your care? When they talk about advocating for vulnerable people, it means standing up for them. It means speaking up for them. Okay? It means, standing in the gap for them, because they are not able to speak for themselves. They might not even know that they are being abused. They may not know. So it is your duty as their carer to stand up for them. So the question is asking that you should give them examples of how you have advocated for the vulnerable residents in your care. Now I'm going to give you different ways, examples on how you can advocate for somebody. Number one, if you have a resident who do not feed well, okay, because he or she refuses food, at some point they stop offering the resident, they neglected the resident, they will be like, they are conclusive, they have concluded. If you give this person, they will say no, say they don't even bother to ask. That is a potential abuse. That is neglect. Now you suspect that or you see that, you stand up to say, no, you don't have to do this. Even though he or she will reject it, at least offer. You might be lucky, you never can tell. You have to offer them, please. This is you standing up for them. This is you speaking up for them. Because remember, as someone is getting old, they don't have appetite anymore. They no longer feel thirsty. If you have done training on oral, if you have done training on fluid intake or whatever, you understand what I'm saying. They no longer feel thirsty. They don't even remember if they have eaten or not. They don't feel hungry. So standing up for them to say, no, you have to offer food to them. If they refuse, document it. Go again next time, offer. If they refuse, document it. That is you standing up for them. That is one example. Another example is you suspected that a resident is being abused because of the signs you see. You saw unexplained abuse, unexplained bruises, wound, pressure areas. They didn't give you any tangible explanation on how it happened. You can stand up for that resident to say, look, I have noticed this, I have noticed that. You document it, you report it so that investigation can be carried out. So these are okay. They offer food to the resident. They are not eating it, and you look to see that the food is not even palatable. You stood up for the resident to say, no, this food that was offered to them is not good. You have to change it. So this is you standing up for these vulnerable adults you care for. And these are examples, what I have just said, on how you can advocate for them. If you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, please. If you are with me, let me know in the comment section. Okay, understood. All right, I move to another question, which is not safeguarding. I finished with safeguarding. This question says, can you please tell us how you handle stress at work? How do you handle stress at work? How do you handle it? A situation whereby you've got a lot of people to attend to at the same time. This one is calling you, that one is calling you, this one wants something. You don't even have enough resources to do your job. The pressure is too much. How do you handle it? First of all, I as a person, when the job at work is too stressful, the pressure is high, what I do is this. I prioritize my task. Number one, I check out on the resident who is at the higher risk of fall or anything. I have to attend to them first. If it warrants putting them in bed, I put them in bed. Those things I should do first, I do it first. Then I seek for help from my colleagues to, please, can you attend to this person for me? Can you attend to this person? After that, I try to ease off stress by staying alone for a while. Breathe in, breathe out, just for a while. Have a cup of water or whatever I feel like I want to take at that point in time. And I'm fine. I go back to work. So, this is how I manage it. Some people, if you are smoking, some of them, when they smoke, they feel better. You know, when the stress is too much, some of them go out to smoke. So whatever thing you feel that enables you to manage stress at work, tell them. For me, what I do is to prioritize my task. Number one, do the first thing first. Then I seek for help. That is number two. I seek for help for others to take over. Then I take a little break. Just a little break, take chilled water, and I'm good to go. The next one I have here is, how do you ensure the resident privacy and confidentiality? How do you ensure resident privacy and confidentiality? How do you promote resident dignity? So answering the next one, how do you ensure resident privacy and confidentiality? When you talk about privacy and confidentiality, confidentiality is all about making sure that you protect the information of the vulnerable adults you care for, making sure you protect every information about them from getting into the wrong hands. Anything you would do to protect. For example, I have got a resident in my care home who have got HIV, who have got different diseases. Now, I am caring for this person. How do I ensure their privacy and their confidentiality? First of all, I will never come here to say, I've got a person I'm taking care of, the person I've got HIV or that. No, I won't say that. So me not saying it is respecting their dignity and protecting their information, which is confidentiality, not discussing what concerns them to another person who shouldn't have the information. If you are not a doctor, I shouldn't tell you that this person I care for have this type of disease or not. You get what I mean? So this is how to ensure it. The next one I have here is, how do you promote resident dignity? Promoting someone's dignity is respecting them. What are the things you do to respect someone? So you tell them that you make sure that you shut the doors and windows. If you want to go to shower, you close everywhere, right? You tell them that you do so. When you want to shower, then you make sure that all the windows and curtains are closed. This is you protecting their dignity, respecting their dignity, so that nobody will see their nakedness. If you want to enter their room, you make sure you knock on the door, seek for their consent. Before you put their light on, you ask them, you let them know that you want to put their light on. You carry them on in the activities, whatever thing you are doing for them, you are carrying them on. You are letting them know each and every one of your steps while attending to them, that you let them know what you want to do. This is you respecting their dignity and promoting their dignity as well. So, questions about dignity: how do you ensure resident privacy and confidentiality? Or how do you promote resident dignity? Or tell us ways the dignity and respect of a service user can be protected. So whichever way they put the question, do not fail it. Just know that what they are asking you is what I have just said. The next one I have here is, tell us about a time you went out of your way for a patient. Or tell us about a time you went above and beyond for a resident. No matter how they put the question, no matter how they structure it, they are asking you to tell them about a time you went out of your way, about a time you did something almost out from the person's care plan and still achieve a positive result. So this is a tell me story type of question, You have to tell them a story, how you have done it, what you did, the result. So tell us about a time you went above and beyond for a resident. You have to find a story to tell them to answer this question. So you can imagine you were caring for somebody who is always crying, always asking about the husband, always asking about the daughter. This person, almost everybody is tired of them, and you are the one caring for this person. Every time they are asking the same thing, they are not settled. And you took it upon yourself to turn to her personal gist mate, always gisting with them, always reminding them that the husband is no longer alive, always telling them, you took it upon yourself to always engage with this resident. And over the time, there was a positive change. She began to forget about the husband because the husband is no more. And no matter how many times you have told her that your husband is gone, she still find it very difficult to accept it. So you turned into her gist mate. Whenever you've got free period, you go to her room, you have chats with her, you try to get the you try to get the family members to speak with her over the phone using the authorized phone. You were doing this, and after some time this resident became very, very stable, just like every other resident. So this is you going above and beyond to do something for them. You can even also tell them that you have a resident who have got a garden at the back of their house, but due to poor mobility, they are not able to weed the garden. You took it upon yourself one morning that you came to work and went into that garden and you weed the garden for them. For that resident, they were so happy. It is not your duty to weed garden, but you did it for them. This is you going out of your way. When you can tell them you've got a resident whose winter jacket has gone bad, and the family did not bring money, or they did not buy another one for that person, because you know how to sew clothes, you promise to help the resident fix the jacket. You took the jacket, you used your own sewing machine and put the jacket in order. When you brought it back, she couldn't recognize the jacket. She was so happy. So you have to think out something that you have done, you have went out of your way to do for a resident. I don't know if you understand what I mean or what I'm saying by that, by telling us a time you went out of your way to do something extraordinary for a resident. Do you understand up to that point? If yes, let me know. If yes, let me know. Tell us about the time you did something extraordinary for a resident. Or they can ask you this way. Tell us about the time you went out of your way to help a resident. Go on. Thank you there. The next question I have here is, how do you handle a difficult colleague at work? When you have a difficult colleague at work, how do you handle them? Number one, as a person, I make sure that I stay professional. Because when you stay professional at work, that is when you can be able to confront wrong practices. Okay, so when your colleague is being difficult, it could be that they are refusing to do their work, their job. It could be that they are making your job difficult. It could be anything that will make them to, be difficult. It could be anything. So I, as a person, what I do is that I make sure that I remain professional while doing my job, because staying professional will enable me to confront their bad behaviors. At the same time, after that, I make sure that I communicate with my colleagues to be sure that they understand what they are doing. And I will have to, during that communication, pass it on to them that, you know, they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that. And after that, if they continue, that you will report it to the manager or to the right person following the company policy. You will document it and you will report it. Because if you don't, you might get into trouble as well. So this is how I manage a difficult colleague. Number one, I make sure I stay professional in my job, because I can only correct what is wrong when I stay professional. Then number two, I communicate with that my colleague to be sure that they understand that what they are doing is not right. By being difficult at work, we should help each other. And after that, I will document it and I will have to report it following the company policy, because people's company policies are different. Some policies will say report to the management, the manager direct. Some company will say you have to report it to the senior on duty. The senior on duty will report to the deputy before the manager gets to hear it. So you have to tell them that you will follow the company policy to report that difficult colleague after communicating with them and they insisted. So the next one I have here is can you tell us about your long-term goal within healthcare industry? This question is not strange and it's not something they ask on a regular, but you could be the person they will ask. You may not be lucky, you may not escape it. Somebody else may escape, but you may not escape. I know what I'm saying. Tell us about a time, or tell us your long-term goal within the healthcare industry. So when they ask me about my long-term goal or why I want to work with them, I normally use my long-term goal, which is owning my own care facility in no distant time. So that is my long-term goal in this field. I don't know what your long-term goal are. This is what I used to say. My long-term goal is that at some point in my life, I should be able to own my care facility back home. I used to tell them back home to be able to care for people with dementia. So the next one I have here is, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? I think I make a note about this strength and weaknesses again. Strength and weaknesses. There's a lot of things in this book. When you talk about strength and weakness, I tell us that strength is something in you that enables you to do your job. Strength. A kind of, I don't know how to put it, but a kind of inner jacket in you. Inner jacket. Jackets we wear during winter jacket to protect cold. So your strength can also called skills. So remember, strength and skills, you can interchange them. They are those ingredients that helps you to do your job differently in a unique way, or helps you to be outstanding. That is your strength or your skill. So if they ask you, tell us about your strength, or they say, tell us about your skills, they are the same thing. Do not be confused. So your strength could be good communication. Your skill could be good communication as well. Do you get what I mean? So your strength and your skills, you shouldn't be confused. Okay? It can be good communication skill. It's a strength, because if you have a good communication skill and a service user is very, very aggressive, and you have that good communication skill, you can use your communication skill to convince them to drop down what they are holding. This is because you are able to communicate with them in a way they understand. So that thing is your strength, because it's possible that so many other people working there do not have that strength. So have you seen in a care home where they will tell you, oh, for this resident, please don't even try to waste your time, because they're not going to listen to you. Wait for this person to come. And when that person comes, they are very, very happy. It shows that there is what the other person is doing with them that you are not doing. And that thing they are doing is their strength or their skill. I don't know if I'm making sense. So your skill could be good communication skill. It could be teamwork. It could be time management. It could be honesty. It could be empathy. It could be anything. What is that thing in you that you have to enable you do this job? What is that in those skills or those strengths? You have to tell them. Now, when you talk about weaknesses are those things that can affect, those ingredients in you that can affect your job. So weakness is opposite of strength or skill. I don't know if I'm making sense. Anything that will make you to, slack in your job is weakness. So what is that? Now, when you go for interview and they ask you about your weakness, I used to tell people, do not say anything that is critical to the job. For example, telling them that your weak point is that you don't have self-control, especially when you see money. Nobody is gonna hire you. You tell them that you are not a thief, but if you walk past a fine jewelry, a beautiful jewelry, it might get lost, but you are not a thief. Saying something like you don't really like when there are a lot of people around you, and you love your space, that is red flag. This is work we are talking about. And in this job is a teamwork. So you cannot do it alone. So me, I used to say that my weakness is not being able to work in a toxic environment. What do I mean? When the environment is not peaceful, when everybody is fighting, everybody is gossiping, nobody is at peace with each other, it pisses me off. I am not able to thrive in such environment. It makes my job very, very difficult. I am not able to function properly in such work environment. Yeah, I can't thrive in such environment. So it gives me it gives me trauma, it gives me, I don't know what to say, but I am not able to work in such environment. So remember, when you tell them about your weakness, you have to also tell them that, listen, this is what you are doing to help you come out of that. So when I tell them about not being able to work in such environment, I used to tell them that I work so hard to stay neutral. When two parties are fighting, gossiping, I don't belong to any group. I make sure that I stay neutral in such environment, and I make sure that I try to get everybody to become peaceful, to be able to work as a team. I don't entertain gossip. I don't talk at people's back. So I stay neutral. That is the only way that helps me to work. Because when I stay neutral, you won't say that, oh, Juliana have said this, oh, she has said that, But I will be neutral, not siding anybody. While making sure that the team is peaceful. as peaceful as it can, so I can be able to do my job. So that is what I do, and this is how I do my job. In my place of work, sometimes place of work can be toxic. So when people are, this party is gossiping, this party is saying this party is doing that, this, oh my goodness. At that point, what I do is to stay neutral. If you come to me to say, oh, Juliana, do you know that this person, I will tell you, I'm sorry, I am not interested in this. Please count me out. So in that case, nobody will say, yes, Juliana said this to me. No. And when you come to me to say, oh, this person have done this, I'm going to deal with, I will plead with you, please. This is workplace. Can you please let this be so we can get the job done? So I try as much as possible to stay neutral in the case of toxic environment. So when I'm neutral, other party can be fighting themselves. Nobody will fight me. When you come for us to do our job, we do it perfectly, peacefully, everybody will go. But when I side a party and I am being asked to work with the other party, it is not possible. The job will not be done and the residents will suffer. So that is what I do. You can also say time management can also be some people's weakness. A lot of people do not know how to manage their time. They will want to do everything at the same time, but in the end, they won't get anything done. So yeah, you can also tell them in that aspect that now you will learn to prioritize your task now. You learn to put first thing, to do the first thing first and come to other ones later, or seek for help when you need it. I hope I'm making sense and I hope somebody is learning. So yeah, so another one, what skills do you have? Coming back to the other question, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? Remember, because they ask you your strength and your weakness does not mean they will not ask you about your skill. Or it is still the same. Now, it depends on how you put it. I have another question here that says, what skills do you have? What are your skills? You tell them that you've got a good communication skill, you've got good team working, you've got a lot of skills. I listed it out here. I listed about skills here. There is so many skills you can have. Time management, patience. Do you know that patience is a skill? Patience. Having patience is a skill, because these people will push you to the wall. And when they push you, if you have got patience, there's nothing will make you talk back at them. You just look at them and you walk away. Yes, I have here qualities or skills one could have as a caregiver. One, empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is just putting yourself in someone's shoes. You know, feeling what another person is feeling. For example, a resident you may be offering that resident personal care, you want to give them wash, they are refusing. Remember, they are elderly. Now they have got dementia. They don't even remember. To them, you are disturbing them. But when you ask once and you left, you didn't come back again. Now you put yourself in their shoe to be like, if I happens to be this person and they ask me once and I say yes, are they not supposed to come and ask you again? The answer is yes. They are supposed to come back again to try. Because if they are not lucky in the morning, maybe they are not in that mood. You might be lucky in the afternoon or in the evening. All right? So, putting yourself in their shoe to say, maybe if this woman do not shower or they don't bathe for the whole day, as a woman, if I don't bathe for the whole day, I don't feel comfortable. For that reason, I will go back to ask again. I will keep on asking just to justify my conscience. If they keep saying no, I will have to keep on recording it until my shift is over. You get what I mean? Yeah. So empathy. You see that someone is feeling sick, they are crying and all that. You put yourself in their shoe to say, if whenever I'm sick, I don't feel like doing nothing. So that will help you to treat that person better. So empathy is a good strength, it is a quality, is a skill. Another one I have here is good communication. The way I'm communicating with you now, being able to communicate properly in a way that people will understand, in a way that what you are saying will be very clear with everybody. So they will not be, because when communication is bad, there will be a lot of misinterpretation. Then the next good skill I have here is teamwork, ability to work as a team, making sure. Please, if you are here, do we do tap on YouTube? I don't know. Like the live for me, please. Teamwork, working together, with other people so that the common goal can be achieved. Accountability, acknowledging and admitting when you do anything, you acknowledge that yes, you did it, and not pushing it to another person. Accountability is a good skill. Please like this live for me if you are here, or write something in the comment section, because this live is as if nobody is here, and it's not good. If you are listening to me and you are getting in what I'm saying, I will appreciate if you can click the like button, the like button, like the live. Share it if you feel there's somebody that needs to have this video, but it will be here anyways. I'm not gonna delete it. So yeah, accountability is a good skill. Documentation is a good skill. Being able to document, being able to record properly what services you have offered. Good time management, honesty, being honest in everything you are doing. No matter how bad it is, no matter anything, make sure that you are honest. You say it the way it is. I have talked about patience, compassion, flexibility. Flexibility is also a good skill. Somebody being flexible, not rigid, being flexible because you have learned this a certain way. You don't want to change it again. You are very, very rigid. You are not teachable. That is a weakness. But when you are flexible, when you are teachable, when you are accountable, when you are patient, you have good team working skills, you have good documentation skill, you have good communication skill, you are good to go. So yeah, the next question is this: what do you understand by duty of care? Duty of care. If you have any question, put it down in the comment section. What do you understand by duty of care? Number 2 here, the next one. What do you understand by duty of candor? So, when you talk about duty of care, please, if you are here, I will appreciate if you like the live. Put down your comment, anything you want to write under the comment section. I will appreciate you do that for me. Share it to whoever you think that needs it. I'm not going to delete this video for so many reasons, because the way I'm explaining this video is as if I'm interacting with you. Yes, but if if you want to send a request, like you want to come up and say something, feel free to send a request, come up, ask your question. The only thing I'm doing here is to prepare you for your interview. If there is anything I have said so far, or any of my video you have watched, or you've gone for interview, you feel there is a question they ask you, you want to share with us, you need more clear answer, come up and ask questions. Send a request. I will bring you up. Put it down in the comment section. I will attend to it anyhow you want it. So it's not enough just staying there, listening and all that. No. I was supposed to go live on Facebook as well. I used to go live Facebook and YouTube or TikTok, but I don't want to. I decided to stay here. My reason is to attend to people that need it, because I know if I go other places there will be distractions. But here, mostly people in the UK or people planning to come that needs this will come, only them. So I don't want any distraction. So if you are here and you need what I'm saying, kindly take this opportunity, because there is no time for me to call you on the phone to prepare you one-on-one. Like, I call people, yes, I do, but because of my tight schedule, that's why I'm here. So if you want to come up, feel free to send a request and come up and ask your personal question. If you want to put it in the comment section, put it in the comment section. Any way you want, anyhow you want it. You are welcome. The goal is to prepare us to pass our interview. There is no way I will prepare you for an interview and you will not pass. Because whatever thing they will ask you is what I'm telling you now. And the way I explain it, I am not only telling you the answer, I'm telling you the basics. I'm telling you what is inside, what each question mean. So if you want to come up, send a request and come up and ask question. So, talking about duty of candor. No, first one, duty of care. When you talk about duty of care, they are your, when you are applying for job, there is a place where they write your job roles. They say job roles. Applicant should be able to, no, they say, how did they put it? They offer personal care to the patient, engage them in activity, do this one, do all those those job duties they list there. They are your duty of care to the resident. They are, thank you for someone liking this live. I appreciate. Please keep it coming. Please. Your responsibility to those people you care for are your duty of care. Your responsibilities are your duty of care. So, I, as a dementia caregiver, what are my duty of care? Number one, offering the resident personal care, grooming, giving them wash, shower, whatever thing they need for the day. I give it to them. That is my duty of care. Safeguarding and protecting them. If you want to come up, my dear. You need assistance with answers to NVQ level 3. Come up, I've got a lot of them here. If your question is among those that have been solved, we do it right away. Okay, so engaging the residents or the service users in activity. That is my duty of care. Protecting and safeguarding them from all forms of abuse, neglect, and harm. That is my duty of care. Giving them medication, administering medication. That is my duty of care. Calling emergency, ambulance, the doctors, the social services when there is need. That is my duty of care. So all those responsibilities, your job roles are your duty of care to the patient. So if you go for interview and they ask you, can you tell us what you understand by duty of care? Tell them that your duty of care are your responsibilities as stated in the job role. For example, it is my duty to offer personal care to the service users, to the resident or the patient, whatever term you want to use. It is your duty of care to provide, to protect them from every form of harm, abuse, and neglect. It is your duty of care to offer them food, offer them good clothes to wear. It is your duty of care to engage them in activity. If they have catheter bag on, it is your duty of care to empty their catheter when it's full. It is your duty of care to document whatever services or care you have offered. So your duty of care is your responsibility to the residents. Do you get what it means? So when you hear duty of care, duty, your job, care is, caring for. So your job in caring for them, it is very easy. Your job, what is your job? Your duties. My duty of care towards you that is listening to me now is to teach you properly so you understand what each concept means and what for you to pass your interview. That is my duty of care towards you that is listening. So you that is going into the care home to do the job, what is your duty of care? So it is your job description. That thing they put in the job description, the job roles are your duty of care towards the resident. Now, the next one I have here is duty of candor. What do you understand by duty of candor? I will take you back to when I was saying something about skills. I made mention of accountability. I also made mention of honesty. So duty of care is owning up to your mistakes. You own up your mistakes. Then you come out clean to admit your mistake, to say, oh, I have done something wrong. I have made a mistake. Look at what I've done. So there will be timely intervention so that help will come as soon as possible. For example, they have trained you to give medication, to administer medication to the service users. And maybe because of one thing or the other, you got distracted and you gave the wrong medication to a resident. Maybe a medication that was supposed to give to resident A, you made a mistake and give it to resident B. That was a mistake. Now, duty of candor mandates you, immediately you notice mistake have been done, you report it immediately without concealing it. Nobody will dismiss you from work. It's impossible. Nobody will beat you. It can never happen. So you must have to admit, report it immediately so there will be timely intervention. You can only be jailed. You can only be suspended from work. You can only be dismissed from work if you do not say these things. If you do not come out clean to say that you have done something wrong, and due to your error, a resident have died. Due to your error, something bad, happened because of what you have done and conceal it. In the end, they will find. Remember, in this country, they can find out anything. So if in the end they found out that you gave the wrong medication, remember when you give, you sign. If you don't sign, you open you cannot escape it. So if you say, oh, because you want to conceal it, I will not sign. Who popped it? Who gave medication during that shift? It is you. So when it gets to this point, when you allow it to get to this point, this is you going in for it. But if you notice that, oh, you've made a mistake, remember, in care, just like the way we cannot prevent a resident from falling down, that is the way sometimes mistakes can happen. You may not prevent it from happening. So all you have to do is, whenever it happens, come out clean to say, report it immediately to the right person. Look at what I've done. I noticed that I'm supposed to give this person this medication, but I made a mistake and I gave it to another person. You know what will be done immediately? The GP will be contacted, whoever that should be, 111 will be called. You know, whatever should be done immediately, they will have to start it immediately, to start doing it. Yeah? They will start doing it immediately. The highest thing they will do is to put you back in training. You know, that may be the high, or they might suspend you for a while from doing medication, but it's not gonna affect your job. In fact, you will take pride that you own up to your mistake that leads to your suspension. It will help you to learn more. If you are not supposed to talk to other staff while administering medication, by the time you resume, you will never talk to anybody. But nobody will dismiss you. So duty of candor, I hope with all these things I've explained, I've been talking since, you are able to have it at the tip of your finger that duty of candor is you. Grace, you understand now? Good. This is you coming out to say, admitting to your mistakes. For example, maybe if I've been trained for medication and I mistakenly give the wrong medication to somebody, I must come out immediately to say it. So there will be help will come quick. If I'm giving a resident shower and mistakenly they fall over, I won't pick them up from the floor, clean them and dress them up without saying it. No, I will ring for emergency. I will ring for help immediately. I will report it immediately that this person have had a fall. No matter what it is that you have done wrong, or you went to reposition a resident and when you were doing it, you find out that the skin she has a broken skin, or he has a broken skin, and or maybe they fall off the bed. Whatever thing you feel that is wrong that have happened when you were giving care to a service user, reporting it immediately, owing up, this is your mistake, and you report it, is what duty of candor is all about. Am I making sense? So if you go for interview and you hear duty of candor, you hear duty of care, tell me, are you going to fail it? Won't you explain to a point that you will sound very convincing? Remember, I said it before, you must sound very, very convincing. There is difference between you crammed what I was saying to go in there to say it. You might miss some words and you will fail. But when you understand it the way I am saying it with examples, there is no way you will fail, because you will give them example the way you understand and not what I was saying. So this part is finished. I have another part. But before I go there, I will wait. If you have any question, put it down in the comment section. If there's anything I have said so far you need more clarification, put it down in the comment section. If you want to come up, please come up, send a request, and I will bring you up. Otherwise, we'll move on. But before we do that, you have to let me know in the comment section if we should move on to the next section. Thank you. Thank you, Obie. Obie Alalubo. Thank you so much. Nobody is asking question. Nobody is sending a request. And nobody is saying anything. as a teacher, you know, I have my TRC and I wrote the result and I passed it. So I've got that professional qualification as a teacher in my university. This is something different from what I studied. So as a qualified teacher, whenever a teacher finish teaching in the class and the student do not ask questions, the student do not acknowledge to say, we understand, can we move to the next step, or to say, no, I don't understand this or that. As a teacher, you have done terribly bad. You've not taught anything. So is it what you guys are telling me that for the past it's more than 1 hour that I've been dealing with that part, you've not learned anything, you don't have any confusion to ask question, you've not learned anything to contribute your own, or I need us to say something. How do I send a request to come up? Hmm. There should be option for you to send a request. There should be option for you to send a request. Did you try all the options on your screen and you're not seeing where to send request? Did you try? Did you try the options on your screen and it's not showing you that? Adams, let's move on. I'm coming, Adams. Should we not give people opportunity to come up and say something? Let me see here. Why there should be option for someone to come up here. There should be option for you to come up. There should be option. Yes? Okay. 1 minute. I'm not seeing anything. Hold on there. Yeah, but you can wake up. So there is no option to send a request on YouTube. Okay. We can't find it, then we have to move on then. We can't find it. Okay, yeah, better. Okay. Look, go there before you make sure. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm not very familiar with YouTube, so I don't know. Because I tried to check with my son's account, and the only feature I'm seeing here is where they have option for, they put dollar sign, and when I click on it, it's showing wow, so you can actually send somebody gifts. Wow, you can actually send somebody gift. Wow. And when I click on, there's no option for that. So guys, I'm sorry, let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to the next question. If they ask you, why do you want to work as a healthcare assistant? Why do you want to work as a healthcare assistant? What do you think a care assistant does? What are your long-term goals? What do you know about our organization? This question, this guy that went for interview, they asked him this question: why do you want to work as a care assistant in our care home? What do you think a care assistant does? What are your long-term career goals? What do you know about our organization? Now, this is one of the reasons I tell us that if I prepare you for interview, you hardly fail. Now, these first 4 questions: why do you want to work as a care assistant? It is similar to what we have said here before. Why do you want to work as a care assistant? The first question I asked here was, why do you want to work with us? And why do you want to work as a care assistant? First thing is this: a healthcare assistant. Hi, Tina. A healthcare assistant is somebody who have compassion and the empathy in them to care for vulnerable adults who need help with their day-to-day activity. This is who a care assistant is. Now, why do you want to work as a care assistant? I want to work as a care assistant because I like to help those who are not able to help themselves. I like to help vulnerable adults who cannot help themselves with their day-to-day activities. I like to care for them, protect them, support them with their day-to-day activities. I like to be the reason they are happy. I like to be the reason they achieve whatever thing they want to achieve for that day. So this is the reason I want to work as a care assistant. Why do you want to work as a care assistant? I want to work as a care assistant because I love to care for vulnerable adults or vulnerable people, people with disability who are not able to care for themselves. I like to offer care. I like to care for them because I know that without me, their day-to-day activity will not be achieved. They are not going to do anything for themselves. So I like to put smile on their faces. I like to be the reason they smile every day. I like to protect them from anything that will cause them harm, abuse, or neglect because they are vulnerable. They are not able to protect themselves. So I love to protect them. I like to advocate for them, stand up for them, speak up for them. This is why I want to be a healthcare assistant. And all these things I have listed are what a healthcare assistant does. Am I making sense? This is why I want to work as a healthcare assistant and nothing more. So if you can pinpoint what I have just said, you like to work as a healthcare assistant because you love to care, you love to be the reason. I used to tell people, don't forget that point, that you love to be the reason they smile. You understand that without you, they will not achieve their day-to-day activity. So you love to be the person that help them to achieve whatever thing. If they want to have shower, if they want to go for shopping, if they want to feed, if they want to go to activity, if they want to do anything, you are always there to support them to do that. That is your job as a healthcare assistant. The next question says, what do you think a care assistant does? It is still the same thing. What does a care assistant do? A care assistant supports residents with their day-to-day activities, such as shower, assisting them to toilet, checking on their pad, engaging them in activity, assisting them to feed, offering them food, drink. A care assistant supports residents to the hospital. A care assistant makes sure that the environment where the residents are staying are very conducive, free from anything that will cause them harm, making sure that nothing is on the floor that will make them slip and fall down. A care assistant administer medication to the resident if they have been trained to do so. A care assistant protect the resident from all forms of abuse, harm, and neglect. They protect them. A healthcare assistant make sure that the resident wardrobes are in order, their things are in order. He make sure he doesn't steal from them. The lists are so long. That is what a healthcare assistant does. The next question here are, what are your long-term career goals? Like I said before, because the next time, the second phase of this interview is what we are treating now. So as we are doing it, bring your questions. So if you have, get it from anywhere you want to get it. Maybe from your past interview sections, or you saw it online during your applications, a lot of them. Anywhere you got it from, bring it here. So long it's clear, don't worry about that. I will give you the answer. So this is part 2 of another section. So inside this section, please go along with me. By the time we finish this, it's about 20 questions. By the time we finish this, you will find out that almost 18 or 19 of the questions we have here have been treated before. Let's continue. What are your long-term goals? This question was among the first thing I treated, where they can ask you questions like, how did they put it here? Okay, can you tell us about your long-term goal within the healthcare industry? Can you tell us about your your career goals or your long-term goal within the healthcare industry? But here they ask, what are your long-term career goals? If you guys phone call pre-screening, oh okay, it's fine. Tina, go on and screen. It's no problem. So if you remember the first time I was explaining about long-term career goal, or my long-term goal as a healthcare assistant, I used to tell them that I love to own my care facility in the near future in my country, where I would be supporting vulnerable adults, maybe those with dementia as well, those who their children have traveled abroad or have gone to so many places and have nobody to care for them. I love to own my facility back home where they can entrust their elderly parents in my care. And working with them, remember, I try to link it back to a question where they ask, why do you want to work with us? Interview questions, care interview questions, they link together. So it is left for you to know which and which to separate at every point in time. Why do you want to work with us? Remember, that question I said, for you to answer that question, why do you want to work with us? You must have to read. If it's NHS, you have to read the company policy. No, the company value. The NHS Trust values. That will help you to answer that question. If it's in the care home, yes, also read their value and see the type of services they offer. So that when they ask you, why do you want to work with us? You can now tell them you want to work with them because the type of services they offer is in line with what you like to do. Because you want, at the long run, to own your care facility back in your country when you retire back in your country, where you can open your care facility and care for elderly people there. This is why you want to work with them. Now, this question come in this format again. What is your long-term goal? So, this thing I have just said now is my long-term goal, to own a care facility back in my country. Back in my country where I will be, supporting elderly people with dementia with their day-to-day activity, where I will where if they entrust them in my care, they will not be abused, they will be protected, their children will be, satisfied with the type of care they are getting. So working with them will give me that opportunity to learn how to manage them. Because this is what they are doing here, managing people living with dementia. I am working with them. I am learning how to manage them. So that when I go back to my country, I open my own care facility. And I will use that standard to run my own care facility. So what is your long-term goal? If you don't have a long-term goal, feel free to copy mine. Feel free to copy mine. Okay? So, interview questions, I used to say you can use one answer to answer 5 different questions. It is left for you to be smart enough to know when to break each and every one, what to put in and what to remove. So the last question here is, what do you know about our organization? It still centers about the job. What do you know about the organization? Like I said, when you apply for any job and they call you for interview, this is time to go online, go to their website and read about them. Okay? If your interview is coming from NHS Trust and they ask you, what do you know about this trust? What would you tell them? Did you read online where they say that they are the second largest? Did you read online where they say that their values is this, this, and this, and this? Did you read online where they say that this is how they treat their customers, which is their patients? Did you read online where they say that they support? What did you read about them? That is what they want to know, what you know about their trust. If this question is coming from a care home, what did you read about them? What type of services do they offer? Do they do respite? Do they do dementia care? Do they do nursing? What are they doing? So this question is for you to answer, you that is preparing for interview. What do you know about that organization you are applying to work? Finish. 4 questions have been attended to. Why do you want to work as a care assistant? What do you think a care assistant does? What are your long-term career goals? What do you know about our organization? These 4 questions, I have just provided answers to it. If there is any of them you think you need more clarification on, put it down in the comment section and I will come back to it. I move to the next question. This one is all about experience and skills. This one says, tell me about your past experience as a caregiver. This question, the way they ask it nowadays, you know why? Because in your CV, you put job experiences. There was something you put there where you said you've worked here as a carer, as whatever, and you list your job roles, what you have been doing there. So they want to know, what are your past experience in caregiving? If they ask me this question, I have a lot of things to tell them. I will tell them I am a dementia caregiver. And in that facility, I care for 15 people in my unit, about 3 or 4 staff caring for 15 people in that unit. When I come to work in the morning, I offer personal care to the residents. I take them to the dining room. I make sure I offer them breakfast. I engage them in activity. Every day is not the same. Sometimes they can be very challenging. Don't forget this part. Sometimes these residents can be challenging, but I have got a skill that enables me to manage them properly. Good communication skill that enables me to talk to them in a way they will understand. I have a very good body language. I know when to move and when not to move, when to use distraction techniques, when to redirect their attention. Okay? You tell them, every day is not the same. Sometimes they can be so challenging. So, for example, they can be banging on the door, shouting they want to go home. So all I do is to offer them what they love, because I know their care plan. I am familiar with their care plan. So I offer them that service, what they like, to redirect their attention. Sometimes they like to go for shopping, I assist them. Sometimes they go for hospital appointment, I assist them. I administer medication. Sometimes it is very difficult for them to accept. This is me telling the interviewer my experience as a caregiver. All these things I'm saying now are my experiences. So, what are your experiences? If you don't have none, borrow mine and reflect and see if it's in line with what you are doing, or if it's in line with your experience as well. So the way I'm talking now is me answering the question. So interview section is more like interactive section. Okay? It is more like discussion method during lectures in the class. You know, there are different types of teaching method. They have discussion method, they have lecturing method, they have field trip, they have demonstrations. During interview, it is more of discussion, interactive section. So you have to be confident, you have to be convincing. I hammer on convincing. Convince them that this is what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know, even if you don't know, maybe you have done it before, but not in a formal setting, informal setting. Please, can you list the experience again? Of course, yes. Can you tell us about your experience in caregiving? My experience in caregiving. First of all, when I come to work in the morning, I offer my residents personal care. Sometimes it can be difficult. Many of them will refuse. They can be so agitated. I document it. I go to the next person, then I will go back later. Sometimes I try morning, afternoon. I may not be lucky in the morning. Sometimes I'm lucky in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm lucky in the evening, but I keep on trying until I'm lucky. If they refuse, it's fine. I document it. I don't fight them. I take them to the dining for breakfast. Some of them will refuse. I still offer them later, and I document it. After that, I take them to the TV room. I engage them in activities. Some will accept to do, some will not accept to do. I don't force them. Whatever thing they wish, it is person-centered care. I work according to how they want. They want it. Every day is not the same in the care setting. Sometimes the residents can be so challenging. Sometimes they are peaceful. The days they are challenging, I have got good skills that enables me to manage them depending on what they are displaying. There are sometimes they can be crying that they want to go home. I find a way, because I'm familiar with their care plan, whatever thing I know they love most. If it's storytelling, I will start telling them story to redirect their attention. If they like cup of coffee or tea, I make a cup of coffee for them or tea and offer it to them. Once they accept it, their attention must have gone away from that. So because I am familiar with their care plan, I know what to offer them at every point in time to manage their challenging behavior, and I document it. I escort them to hospital appointments, to shopping, sometimes to go to the park, depending on what they want to do. I have been trained to give medication if you have, so I also administer medication to them. Sometimes it could be very difficult, but I don't force them. I make sure I document it. So every day is I will always close it by every day is not the same. Indicate them will tell you yes, it's true, every day is not the same. Sometimes they can be up and down. This is how they do it, this is how they do during interview, because they know you know what you're saying, so they will help you to say more. Sometimes they can be up and down, thank you very much, you finish the answer, you finish. So I hope you understand that part, your experience as a caregiver. But please, if you're answering this question, make sure to include resident challenging behavior. Tell them sometimes every day is not the same. Please make mention of that. Every day is not the same. Sometimes they can be very difficult, showing different signs of challenging behavior. But you have got a skill. You have got a skill that enables you to manage their challenging behavior. And you are also familiar with their care plan. So you know what to offer them at every point in time. You know how to talk to them. If that person loves coffee, anything, tea, you offer it to them. Once they accept it, you redirect their attention immediately. They will forget about crying and going home. It depends on how or what, or it depends. Every day is not the same. You understand what I mean? So please, there are some keywords you should not miss while answering interview questions. Is that okay now, Tina? I move to the next one. What are your strengths and weaknesses? We just finished talking about strengths and weaknesses. We just finished talking about that. In fact, so far, about 6 or 7 questions now. We've treated 5 before. Only 2 seems new to people listening to it, not to me. Yeah? So what are your strengths and weaknesses? We've talked about strengths before and weaknesses. So you should know what strengths you have. And remember, I said before, when they ask you about strengths, your strength could also mean your qualities. Don't be like my brother that went for interview and they asked him, what qualities do you have? as a caregiver. My brother did not understand what qualities means anymore because he was waiting for them to ask him, what are your skills, or what skills have you got? He was waiting for them to ask him, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Rather, they ask him, what qualities do you have? He totally forgot what quality is all about. So qualities, strengths, skills, please, it is the positive side of it. It is that thing in you that enables you to do your job. That thing in you that makes you to stand out. That thing in you that makes you unique. That is what qualities, skills, or strength is seeking to find. So this question is asking, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? Like I said, strength could be good communication. It could be empathy, compassion, accountability, time management, good documentation skill, ability to record, to document properly. Don't play with documentation and care. So all the teamwork in all your saying, I think I listed it out. In all your saying, in all the skills you will mention, please do not for any reason skip mentioning team working. Do not skip. I listed it here. I can't find it again. Do not skip mentioning team working, communication skill, active listening. You know what it means? Active listening. That you listen actively, attentively to your residents. You listen to them, because when you listen to them, that is when you can know how to tackle their problem. So do not forget team working, good communication skill, active listening, empathy, patience. In fact, all of them are important. But please, to see team working, good communication, active listening, do not forget it. Please, because these things are very, very important. If you are not able to work as a team, you cannot do this job. You cannot do it. You can't do it alone. If you don't have good listening skill, you cannot do it. You can't. If you cannot communicate properly, your own is finished. You cannot do it. I listed it here. Empathy, good communication skill, teamwork, accountability, documentation, good time management, honesty, teachable. Someone that is open to learning new things. You are teachable. Flexibility, compassion, patience. I listed it here. You can add other ones. There are so many of them. Anything can be skill. Do you even know that when I went to interview then, the manager said, tell us what you are bringing to this team. It's an interview question. Hi, Clara. What are you bringing to the team? What special skill? That was how she put it. What special skill are you bringing to the team? I said to her, I can dance. She was like, oh, what do you mean you can dance? I said, because I understand that the residents are always bored. Because when activity coordinator is gone, they've got nothing else to do. So I dance with them. I engage with them. We dance, we sing, and by so doing, we are improving on the mobility. The manager was like, I don't think that somebody has ever given him that as an answer. I'm not sure. Because the response I got, I was, inside my mind, I was like, it looks like this man, I've never heard of this. The way he said, what do you mean dancing? I said, I will explain. I understand that the resident can be very bored. So activity do not come 7 times a week. So those times the activity coordinator is not there, the residents are bored. What do? We sing together. As we are singing, I'm dancing with them. So they dance with me. And as we are doing that, is improving their mobility. The residents are engaged. They are happy. They are not bored. The man said, maybe that was the only point that even got me that job, even though that was the last thing he asked me. Yeah, so sound very, very convincing. Even though you think you don't have a point, it's not true. Make your point to make sense. Please, can you list the experiences again? Experiences? Do you mean skills? Is that what you are asking? Do you mean skills? If that is what you mean, the skills I listed here are empathy. You know what is empathy? Putting yourself in someone's shoes. We've explained this thing before. Understanding the pain of what someone is going through so you can be able to care for them accordingly. I gave an example. You have a resident who is refusing care. Everybody got tired to the extent that they no longer ask, they no longer offer. Now you put yourself in that resident shoe to say, I understand that when you are old, you have less taste for water. You can stay the whole day without drinking water. They will be dehydrated without knowing. Taste for food, their taste bud will grow old. Let me put it like that they will not even remember that they've not eaten nothing. So you can offer them, they will say, leave me alone. They are hungry, but they don't know. So I, as a person, having this understanding as a result of training and experience, I will not leave them. Sometimes, leave my room. You say, okay, go and make that food. Keep it there for them. Come back. They finish eating it. And when you come, they will say, thank you. They don't know that they are hungry. So I can only do that if I have empathy in me. If I have empathy to put myself in their shoe, to know that this person may be hungry, but because of the health condition and age, they don't know. So I'm not going to leave them. Because if I get to that age, I wouldn't like somebody to leave me alone. At least they should offer that thing. If I did not eat it, then yes, they will know that I don't want to eat. At least the food should be before me. You get what I mean? Empathy. Good communication skill. Ability to communicate with them properly. Talking to them in a voice and tone and manner they understand. It helps to calm things down. Teamwork. Being able to work with your colleague as a team, helping out when you should, bringing out good suggestions, opinion that will help you to achieve, good ending. Accountability, like I said, we all know what accountability is all about. Documentation, we all know what it is. Recording, anything you do, you record and care. There's this slogan they said, when you do not record it, it never happened. So whatever thing you have done, you must have to record. I have good time management, knowing what you should do at every point in time, prioritizing your task at every point in time, knowing that you should do A before B, that if you leave A to do B, you might get choked. So you have to do A before B. I have honesty, being honest at every point in time. I have patience. Like I said, if you don't have patience in this job, you cannot do it because they will push you to the wall. They will say things to you, a lot of ugly and provoking things. But you just have to understand that they are old. If you don't even get it like that, understand it that you are here for your money. Do your job and go. Compassion, flexibility. not being rigid, you know. If they say, please, we need you here to come and help, just go and help. Teachable. You are not somebody that they cannot tell no. You know, you can never make a mistake. You are not that type. So I hope you get it now. I think this is what you want to ask. So, strength and weakness. When you talk about weakness, I used to say weakness is opposite of strength. That thing that can hinder you from doing your job is what weakness is all about. So what do you think is that? Is it time management? Do you struggle to manage your time? What is your weak point? What is your weakness? I, as a person, I used to say that my weakness is not being able to work in a toxic environment. You know, environment that is not peaceful. I am not able to work in that environment. So it's also good whenever you tell them about your weaknesses. It's also good to tell them how you work hard to overcome your weaknesses. All right? Like, if you would say that your weakness is time management, you can tell them something like that you are, right now, you are learning and prioritizing your task. If you have a note to write what you should do first and all that, and know when to seek for help, because you get shocked. You think you can do everything, and sometimes you get shocked and the job will not be done, you know. I, as a person, not working in a toxic environment, what I do to help myself is to stay neutral. I don't belong to any party. Night staff is fighting day staff. I don't belong to day staff. I don't belong to night staff. I come and I do my job and I give my report and go home. I don't side anybody. I try to stay neutral. So that is what I do. In such environment, if team A is against team B, I can work with team A without any problem. I can work with team B without any problem because I don't belong to any of them. I am a neutral person. So that is the only way I can work in a toxic environment. And I try to make peace. I don't join any forces to fight anybody. If you come to say that somebody have done something wrong to you, I make sure I call both of you to make peace. That is what I used to say. So choose your struggle wisely. Don't tell them something that is critical to the job. Something like you are not accountable. Something like you have hot temper. Somebody will say, I have hot temper. Don't say that. If you have hot temper, you cannot work in care. How do you handle stressful situations at work? We've said it before. Describe a time you went above and beyond for a client. We've said it here before. What experience do you have with clients who have specific need? Example, someone that have got dementia or mobility issue. What experience do you have with a resident with specific need? So I will pick that of dementia. My experience with a dementia patient, one is that there was a time this resident became so upset. He was, I don't know what triggers the resident. He was crying, he was banging on the door, calling people from outside, you know, shouting that they have been kidnapped and all that. They were saying a lot of things. I used to have a lot of challenges, but this particular one is very, very particular to me. So people outside had to call the police because they felt the person was kidnapped for real. So before we could know it, the police surrounded the whole home, and as the senior on duty, I have to take that challenge to explain to the police that this resident have got dementia and she was still shouting. But before the police could come, I have taken control of everything by communicating to the resident nicely. They love stories, so I started telling the residents some stories. I made a cup of tea, I made a cup of coffee. They choose one, I had the other one. Both of us sat down, we were talking and gisting before the police arrived. So when they came, came to look out to see, and the resident was already relaxed and they left. So what is your own experience? You can also tell them you've experienced, they find it difficult to accept care. So I keep on going back, keep on going back. They don't want to have shower, they don't want to have anything. I keep on going back to them, I keep on offering. And sometimes I try in the morning, I am not lucky. Sometimes I try in the afternoon, I am not lucky. Sometimes I'm lucky in the evening, sometimes. So all these things are experiences. So they gave two options here. Somebody with mobility issue. What experience do you have? Remember when I said I dance with the resident? You can tell them a story about maybe you've got a resident who have mobility issue. They barely walk. They can walk with little support. So you took it upon yourself to start engaging them in little activities like moving around, a slow and lights, dancing and all that. And after a while, there was an improvement. So choose what you want to choose there. What training or certifications do you have? Which one do you have? Do you have care certificate? Do you have NVQ 3 or 4, or what certificate do you have? Tell them. This one is a personal question. The next one, what skill do you think you have that is essential for a care assistant? You remember, this question is coming back again in a different form. It came before as what are your strengths and weaknesses. Now it's coming back again as what skills do you think are essential for a healthcare assistant? In an NHS interview, when you are asked a question, must you always use stories to answer them? No. Not all questions demand stories to answer. Remember, that is what we call STAR method of answering interview questions. STAR. But that STAR method does not apply in all the questions. Now, let me give you an example. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? It does not require story. It's a straightforward question. Now, another one, describe a time you went above and beyond for a client. Describe. For you to describe. How do you describe something without telling them a story? It is now when you talk about description, STAR method comes in. This is where you will have a situation, you will have a task, you will have action, you will have solution. Do you get it now? So not all questions that demand story sometimes may be, tell us about a time, describe, explain to us. So for you to do that, you'll be telling them story. In that story, you are trying to arrive at something. So that's end point where you are trying to arrive will be the answer to that question. But if you don't tell that story, how will you arrive to that? Like the one I just said, your experience with a client who have specific need. For example, who have dementia or mobility issue. If I don't tell a story about how a resident is banging on the door, calling people from outside, how will I arrive at communicating to them nicely, offering them what they like, redirecting their attention, and they are settled? Do you get it now? So questions that comes as describe, tell us, explain. For you to get the answer correctly and be confident and convincing enough, tell them a story. But questions that are straight, like why do you want to work as a care assistant? What do you think a care assistant does? What are your long-term goals? What do you know about the organization? Tell us your past good. Tell us your past experience in caregiving. This question, tell us your past experience in caregiving. When I was answering it, it was as if I was telling story, because the story I was telling them is what I'm doing every day I come to work, challenges I encounter. So it's like a story I'm telling them. Because when I was saying that I give what I do in the morning, when I come, after this I do this, after that I do that, I tell them that every day is not the same. Sometimes you resident do this, do that, do that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So not all questions you will tell story. No, some questions are direct answer. Some questions are not direct, tell story to arrive at your answer. I don't know if that is making sense to you. So that strength and weakness, that question came back here as, what skills do you think are essential for care assistants? Go back to that answer before where I listed about strengths. Those strengths are the skills you need. Yeah, those strengths: good communication skill, empathy, patience, documentation skill, even infection control skills is also a good skill. Knowing what to do at every point in time, when to use your PPE, personal protective equipment, how to dispose it. Knowing that skill, having that skill is good. So those things, uh, good time management, all those things are skills. That's why I said skills, quality, strength, they are the same. They are things in you, either inside of you, or you learned it as a result of practice and experience. All those things are the skills, the strengths, or the qualities that enables you to do the job, that makes you unique from others, that enables you to work with others. Yeah, the only difference, opposite there, is the weakness. Whatever other thing they are asking you, three things: qualities, skills, strength, they are the same. So the next one here is, how do you maintain resident dignity during personal care? This question is so direct. Here they ask us, how do you ensure resident privacy and confidentiality? They also ask, how do you promote resident dignity? The same question here they ask, how do you maintain a client's dignity during personal care? Please, if you are here and you are listening, send me likes. Tap on your screen and send me likes, so that the live will be interactive, so I won't just be talking. Put down comments if you have any question, ask, so that you can be understanding what I'm saying. If you have gift as well, send. I've never received gift on YouTube, if not that I use my son's this thing to check. When that guy wants to send request, I won't even know. So if you have gift, I appreciate, send to me. Send. It's not easy. This thing I'm doing is not easy, sure, you know. So I will appreciate if you do that as well. If you don't have, no problem. My joy is that you go for an interview and you pass, you get the job, and you start getting your salary. I don't like to see people roaming the streets. They don't have job as a result of, not that they didn't struggle hard to apply for job. They did, but now they failed the interview. The hard part is to get the job. You can't fail interview for a job you suffered. That's why I'm here. We started around 6. It's over 3 hours. 148 minutes is more than 3 hours. It's more than 3 hours. So it's not easy. My baby is awake now. My husband is back, but I'm here. So if you have any support, I will appreciate. Send me gift if you have. If you don't have, it's fine. Yeah, so how do you maintain client dignity during personal care? Now, when we are giving personal care, For us to maintain their dignity, number one, we seek their consent. For them to say to us, we say, are you happy to have your shower? Are you happy to have a wash? Are you happy to come out of the bed to go to the bathroom? Seeking their consent, number one. Some people do jump to closing windows and curtains. No, before we start closing with windows and curtains, you have to seek for consent by informing them what you want to do and asking them if they are happy for you to do that for them. So when they say yes, that they are happy, now you can tell them, we have to close the curtains so nobody sees us and all that. Yeah, so closing the curtains, the windows, the blind is number 2 thing, so that nobody will see them. Even knocking on their door before go, I skip that one. I skip it. Personally, you knock on their door before you come in. That is number 1. You come in, you seek for consent. That is number 2. You close the doors and the windows and the curtains so that nobody sees their nakedness. Yeah? So that is how you maintain their dignity during personal care. Now, you make sure that the clothes, the towels, whatever thing you need for that shower, whatever, is made available. My son is at the door. I had to lock the door. It's made available so that you won't at any point in time run outside, from the bathroom to go and get towel and you leave them all naked. Yeah? So this is how to maintain their dignity during personal care. So another one here is, what is your understanding of person-centered care? Nobody is tapping for me. Nobody is doing. What is your understanding of person-centered care? When you talk about person-centered care is all about giving care to the resident how they want to be cared for. Person-centered care is giving care how that person wants it. If a resident say they want to have shower, you give them shower. If the resident say, I don't want to have shower, just clean my armpits and my private for me, I am fine. You clean their armpit and their private and leave them alone. If a resident say, I don't want to come off the bed now, I will still want to sleep, you let them do whatever thing they want to do, so long is not, their safety is not at risk. So offering care according to how they want it is what person-centered care is all about. A non-verbal person, good. I'm rounding off. Yeah, I'm rounding off. Just 2 more questions, I'm done. How many minutes? 15 minutes more. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let me finish up. Why I want to be here? Okay. I'll round up now. Come kusizera. So if the person is a non-verbal, yeah, I'm rounding up. If the person is non-verbal, if the person is non-verbal, you don't have a problem. Just be talking. Even when someone is no longer breathing and they are preparing the person, we still talk to them. We still talk to them. So this person is non-verbal, but they can still hear. So you just talk to them. I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do it. All those things in Igbo language, we call it nkwanye ugwu. Oh, yeah, but mad, this is human being. It's just that maybe sickness or age caught up with them. So you will not start treating them as if they are no longer human being. No. So even though they are not talking or whatever, they are bedridden or just be communicating. Of course, you know, before, even when someone is in the morgue, before the morticians go in, they knock on the door. Forget about those superstitious belief that they are knocking on the door because their spirit will knock them down. No, it is respect, dignity, respect. Okay, so just knock on the door, go inside. Hello, I'm here to do this. Put on the light. It doesn't matter whether they hear or not. They are human beings. You are just respecting them. So guys, I'm gonna end this live session now. It's more than 3 hours, and this video will be here. I'm not deleting it. Feel free to come back and rewatch. And I promise you, there is no way you, I'm sorry we couldn't finish the other part. Hopefully we'll come back tomorrow, yeah, or I do it as a video and repost, but other ones are here. Feel free to come back and rewatch. I wish you all the best in your interview. Bye. My son is on the door. He's no longer permitting me. All right, bye.